Emails. You can love them or you can absolutely hate them, but you simply cannot ignore them. Email's probably one of the first things you check at the start of the day and probably the last thing you check before you leave work. And in spite of the barrage of notifications you get from all of your other social media platforms and your messaging app, you still manage to always have an eye out for your inbox. And that's exactly what makes email one of the most crucial ways for you to reach out to your potential audience, no matter which year you live in. If only you can manage to get their email addresses, that is. In our 5th episode of Just Between You and Me, I sit down with Molly Mahoney, owner of The Prepared Performer and one of the world's foremost digital growth strategists, to show you how to build an email list for your business from the ground up. Join us live Wednesday, June 3rd at 8:30 a.m. Pacific on nvideo.io/youandme. There it is. Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? And welcome to Just Between You and Me. I am thrilled. I'm so excited about today's broadcast. We shifted things a little bit earlier so that we could get this young lady on with us. One of my favorites. Molly Mahoney is going to be joining us. She is just flat out really smart. And, well, I won't embarrass her by telling all of the stuff about her right now, but I'll wait till she's on camera with us to kind of give you the skinny on our relationship. But Molly is the prepared performer. Her main gig is she helps people with camera confidence. She helps teach people how to present, which is increasingly important as we are now relying so much more on video conferencing and presenting ourselves online. So that's Molly's main gig. But a big part of that, of course, is she has to build that business. She has to build a business and get people and engage with people and nurture people and help them with the realization that they need her support and then ultimately support them. And she does that, of course, as so many of us do, through email. I know it's the least sexy topic, but it is one of the most valuable assets and one of the most valuable things that we can do to help build and grow our business. So stay with us. Molly will make it interesting, and you will learn a ton about building your email list, growing your email list, how, why. It's all coming up right now today on Just Between You and Me. As promised, there she is, the lovely and talented Molly. How the heck are you doing?
I'm so glad to be spending the morning with you. And I'm grateful for that music. That dun, 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 dun. It's a good
You know who does all this stuff is our benefactors. This is the best thing about doing this show.
It's so cool.
What's in video do? What do they do? Our benefactors are in video, and what do? Is they build and they give us the tools to create these kind of interstitials and promos. Are you using them in your live streams?
Yeah, I haven't. I've actually had them. You know what? Okay, in my live stream, this is the problem: is I haven't actually been using videos like that in my live stream, which is a thing that I need to get on, and I've been meaning to do more of. I have one, but I always forget to use it. And what I do though is that I use it in my repurposing of my videos. So if you go, we take a little recap at the end of our videos and we plop in a video like that for our YouTube videos. We don't do it here on our Facebook lives. And I have done it in the past a couple times, but I haven't really recently. I'm committing that I'm going to add some more. Don't. Yeah,
you got to do it. Well, yeah, you should sing, but it should be you singing.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Before we go on, I should have mentioned right off the top, because of the nature of these live streams, we're streaming to multiple platforms at once.
Yeah.
And it limits to where the conversations happen. So if you do want to engage in the conversation and you do want to kind of, if you want to enhance the experience, I encourage you to visit nvideo.io/youandme. That's nvideo.io/youandme, and I'm sure they're putting it in the comments in the whatever platform you're in. And that's the one place that we pull all of the feeds together, and you can join the conversation.
Ooh,
there.
Cool! How does that work?
We just do it there. The magic. It's magic. Well, you have to sign in and then you comment there. But that's also where all of the replays. It's where you'll go if you want to watch this again. That's the homepage for this Just Between You and Me show. So you know, Molly, that the basis of this show is that you have to, like, it's just between you and me. You have to get more. You have to deliver.
I was wondering if that means that we've stopped all comments because it's only between Steve and I.
No,
it means the greater you.
Yes, indeed, the greater
information.
Greater you. So
I love it.
Do you get excited about talking about email?
You know what I thought? Okay, I was actually talking to my COO about this yesterday, and I was like, the funniest thing to me, I said, you know, I love Steve. I'm stoked to be able to hang out with him. And the funniest thing to me is that we're doing this show about email because, as it said in the intro, it said whether you love email or you hate email. And you and I have had very interesting conversations about messenger bots and how much I love messenger bots. So a lot of people think that I don't like email. I actually think it is so crazy important to be able to get someone's email address. I think it's so important to have conversations via email. There are so many reasons that you want to make sure that you have that email address. And I can share some pretty horrible stories about times where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have an email. I do get a little like frustrated and I will say overwhelmed by what it feels like as a reader of emails. Like, I feel that it can be a little overwhelming, which that makes it even more important for us to be very specific and clear and provide like amazing, juicy, valuable information in our emails. We don't want to just send promotional emails. We want to have an awesome intention in addition to our business objective.
That's my current favorite word.
Which one? Intention?
Intentional.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy in what we do to create content just to be seen, just to be me, as opposed to having intent and weight behind it and a purposeful piece of content that we create and deliver.
And I, for a long time, and actually you'll like this with your performance background. For those of you that don't know, that's how Steve and I first met, really, was doing musical theater together.
Theater together. It was
musical theater.
Social media marketing world. They do a mock-up musical to open. They used to do them. I don't know if we'll ever do another one, but we've done 4 of them.
Yeah, I think 4.
It's stressful.
We did The Wizard of Oz. We did Beauty and the Beast. We did Annie. We did Fiddler on the Roof.
That's right. That's it. So 4. That's it. 4.
Yeah, it's 4. So as an actor, there's an objective that your character has. It's something they want to achieve by the end of the show or by the end of the scene or by the moment, right? But there's also different tactics that they use in order to achieve that objective. And so I love the difference when we look at what's our objective, what's the tactics, like the ways that we make that objective happen, and what's your intention. So when you are building an email list, for the most part, if you are building a business, the objective is eventually that the people on your email list will become buyers or they will become power partners and share your stuff. But you also want to make sure that you have a separate non-money related intention. So for us, we're really clear about our values, and our intention is to help people to raise their voice, to gain confidence. And I believe that the more confident and joyful we can be as business owners, the more that we can change the world. And we have those two very specific different things in place.
So when you, that's how you define it. Give me your definition of what success looks like for you for email then.
Good question. I mean, for me, if I knew that people were inspired and that they were going out and being kind to people, that would be success for my email list. Honestly, I can tell, like, full stop. If no one ever bought anything off my email list, I'd probably be bummed. Right. But I have other ways that I can sell stuff. Yeah. We sent an email out somewhat recently, and one email, loads for a thing that we're offering recently, loads of people bought it just from an email, which was pretty dang awesome. But I also have sent out emails of my friend Ben, who I used to be a singing waiter with at Ellen's, and said, here's a song that really inspired me. I think it would inspire you too. And it was a song from Hercules, the musical, that had never been recorded because they didn't record it. And he did it in New York. And I was like, oh, this was so moving. And I shared it. And so many people reached out to me and thanked me for sharing that song.
Because of the nature of how you built your business and the relationships that you've built. So email becomes an extension of that. And
it's something that I think we have to really, because in the beginning, I had all of this frustration with email. I will say, there's been a couple of discussions I've had with friends who have been like, when I've expressed my frustration with email, they've said, well, how often are you emailing? And I'm like, I don't know, once a week. And they're like, well, that's why you have the frustration. Like, and I was only using email to send people to my live show. I wasn't having a conversation. And so and I'm not perfect at it by any means. It's something that I am very actively working on. But I think the more that we can have a conversation in our emails, the better.
Yeah, you have to honor you have to honor it as well by delivering content of value and respecting that if people are engaging with it and using it as an engagement engine, you have to be consistent, just like with every other publishing platform we have. Consistency is absolutely important. And to me, still, email is the anchor of the entire business, because at the end of the day, all of these other platforms that we are on are rented ground. Email is the only place that we own. And so it doesn't matter with the live streaming right now. When we logged in today, as we fired this up, something broke in the setup, and we are supposed to be live streaming to LinkedIn, but we didn't have permission. So guess what? We're not on LinkedIn today.
Oh,
and so, but that's the nature of these platforms. Is you can be disenfranchised from your community, be it on YouTube, be it on Twitter, be it on. I mean, look what's happening with Twitter right now. They're all of the social platforms are suddenly going, what are the rules? Like they don't know. And guess who pays the price at the end of the day? It's going to be us.
Yeah.
It's going to be
especially as creators, where we've built so much of our business real estate is built on these platforms that we're technically using for free, unless we're doing ads, right? But I mean, even with Messenger, so like I am really big on following the rules within Messenger, but mistakes happen. I mean, I am so loud about what we're allowed to do within Messenger on Facebook and the compliance stuff that Facebook has. But just last week, an email accidentally, I didn't create it, but I take full responsibility for it, from someone, in our team. The tag was wrong and it got sent to 3,000 people, which it was not allowed to be sent to 3,000 people. It was only allowed to be sent to like 1,500. And then all day I was like, oh God, we're going to get shut down. We're going to get shut down. We're going to get shut down off of one little mistake. And I will tell you, Steve, I don't know if we've talked about this, but right before Social Media Marketing World, my Messenger account was shut down.
Yeah, you did talk to me about that, which was a nightmare for you.
And guess what? I did not shed one tear over it, because although it was annoying and I felt bad, it was only temporarily shut down. And I can explain why, even though that's not what we're here to talk about, but it was temporarily shut down. And I knew, I was so grateful that I had made sure that I collected emails as often as possible, and I collected phone numbers as often as possible. So I could send an email, I could send a text message. The thing that really stunk about it is that when anyone sent a message, none of our auto responses could go, and I couldn't reply to anybody. So then it just looked like I was ignoring everyone for like 2-3 weeks when it was shut down.
Well, but those are, I mean, what we've just described now is the reason that still email is something that we need to continue to invest in. I certainly, every day, that's, it's, I pay attention to how we reach out in email, and we do a lot of email. I do an awful lot of email.
How often are you emailing?
Just about every day.
Me too. Now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I've noticed that you have it, but mind you, we have from the Dotto Tech brand.
Yeah,
I have a podcast that drops on Sunday night, so I promote it Monday morning.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, we promote our Webinar Wednesday and our featured video that drops on Webinar Wednesday. We promote the Webinar Wednesday live. On Thursday, we don't typically we often drop a second video. So anytime now we publish any piece of content.
Yeah.
We send out a video, we send out an email telling people about it and let them know what's happening on it. And then on Friday, we do a live stream. And then on Sunday, we do a digest, which is our newsletter. So Saturday is pretty much our only dark day.
Yeah.
And it concerns me. I sometimes feel like we do too much.
Yeah.
But
I've just recently stepped it up, so I'm still kind of testing it and playing with it. Do you know Ryan Lee he has Rewind? Rewind protein bars, but he has done a lot about summits and like more about memberships, right? I think that's how he got started. But he came and spoke at a mastermind that I'm in of Adam Urbanski's recently, and he said the best thing that because I had decided literally that morning that I was going to pass off my email copywriting to a team member. I was like, this is something that I can pass on. I don't need to do this. And he fully chewed me out. It was so funny. Like, are you kidding me? You are the voice. Like, you need to be the ones writing the emails. And I was like, ah. So by the end of it, I realized. And I used to hate like feel nauseous when I would write things because of some mean things that an ex-boyfriend said to me about how I was not smart. And I pushed through it, and I actually love writing now. And now that I've been able to view it as this conversation, and I can share my voice, and I can spell things wrong, and I can make up my own words, I actually love it. But he gave a great tip, which was, like, if you're thinking that you want to add in that Saturday day, even though you don't have something to promote necessarily, there are always lessons in our lives. Always. Like every day. So he said, think about what happened today. What's happened today? Has there been a lesson today? If you can't think of one, think of what happened yesterday. Was there a lesson that happened yesterday? If you can't think of one, think of what am I going to do tomorrow? Is there a lesson that happened tomorrow? And, I think the more we can share about what's really happening in our lives and bring that connection together via email, the better.
So you've increased the number of emails you send, and so do we. So we keep such a close eye on the metrics of our email list of email that's happening. How many people are opting out? We pay very close attention to any messages being sent by our email provider to making sure that we just had a massive purge. I need
to do a purge. That's like the one thing that's been on my list that I haven't taken time to do.
So how often do you how often do you check your metrics and check your open rates, et cetera?
Every email that I send out, maybe more than I should, I guess. But and one other thing that we've started doing, which I don't know if you do this, but is that resend to unopens and changing the subject line. Not always, but I will resend to unopens because I recognize as a user that my email inbox is just like inundated. It's flooded with stuff.
We do in service of that, we use metrics here. I'll give you kind of an inside tip on how we do it. So for our email newsletters, for our webinar Wednesday, which is the focus of our, of most of the Dotto Tech brand, is I try and drive people that webinar, which is the beginning of my real funnel.
Yeah.
So we first of all announce it the week before, just to the people that had attended it, so they get it in the replay. They can sign up for that webinar Wednesday, and then we mention it. We don't mention it again until the Sunday newsletter. Okay. Then the Tuesday email promoting, and then with the webinar, we just promote it the day before and the day of.
Can I ask a question about that? Is the webinar exactly the same every Wednesday? I should know this because I know that you do these webinars.
Yeah, it's same time every Wednesday.
No, but it's a different thing that you're teaching every Wednesday?
Totally unique content. Yeah, we work our ass off on it. It's a brand new piece of content. But so we send the email out the day before and the day of promoting it. Okay. The day before email, we make sure that we go through and we don't send that email to anybody who has subscribed.
Has subscribed for the webinar?
Subscribe to the email, to the webinar itself.
Okay, so
if we have, say, 800 people registered at that point, it'll be our whole list minus those 800.
Yep.
The second day that we send it, the second email in a row, which is the next day, which is the day that the webinar is, we send it to everybody except people who are registered and anybody who opened the day before's email. Ooh. So if we've had 8,000 people open it, 800 people registered, it's the entire list minus those 8,800 people. Yeah. So that's the way that we try and reduce the amount of like over promoting, basically. Yeah, I love it. And this is something I think a lot of people don't realize. And I know we're supposed to talk about how to grow your email list, which I promise we'll get to. But I think this is because this causes your list not to shrink. Yeah, totally. And I think a lot of people we've been starting to use the ask method also, which has been really cool. So learning more about our communities and finding out what they actually want to hear from us too. But I still have a small segment of people who came in from when I was a vocal coach and a musical theater coach. So I still have some of them there because I do host a Broadway themed open mic night every month. So you've got to make sure that you have people segmented, so you're not sending someone who signed up to hear about musical theater, Broadway open mic stuff about how to build a messenger bot, because that could be confusing. So talk to me. So when you started the Prepared Performer, you had to start your list pretty much from scratch at that point there. So what were the first stages that you did to start to build your list, and what did you learn from that? I did so many things. So I actually joined a program which was so awesome, and I have been wondering if it's even still around. I don't know. It was Brian Harris. Do you know Brian Harris? Nope. Oh my gosh. Okay.
and his stuff has changed a lot lately, but he's seriously a genius. And it was get 10K subs. So the whole thing was about how to build an email list. And he shared his tips were so great, and I still use them and teach them and reference them today. The first thing that he says, which is the same, I think, in anything, when you're building a Facebook group, when you're building a community, when you're building an audience, any of this, he said, just start by talking to people. We instantly go to this big funnel. And everybody thinks because I love bots that I'm all about the automation, but the most important driving force of your business is you talking to human beings. And so he said, like, your first 100 people on your list can literally come from just talking to people. So you have to know that you have some sort of value that you're going to be sending out. You've got to be clear about the value that you provide. You don't want to just say, hey, can I add you to my email list? You want to be clear about who you're talking to and what types of value you're providing, but just message people and say, hey, do you want, I'm going to be sending out tips about blah, blah, blah. Would you like me to send them to you?
And those early days is what separates successful people from the ones that are not going to do it, because it's hard to craft good content for a very small audience when your eyes are on a much larger audience.
Even emotionally.
Yeah, it's like, I only have 62 people on my list, and and it's going to take me an hour to write this email.
But then and people say that about Facebook Lives too. Someone, I'll hear somebody say like, oh, only 7 people were on my video. What would you give, especially right now, to have 7 people sitting in your room listening to you?
Yeah.
What would you give to have 1 person?
It's kind of quiche, but I always say we all have the exact same size audience. Exactly the same size. We have one audience. Because when we're doing a feed, it's just coming from us and out. So when I write an email, it's just an email. It's the same as if I sent you an email, as if I sent it to 100 people or 1,000 or 10,000 people.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing that we talk about a lot with video. And I think maybe we talked about this before, but it's having that, we call it a Mr. Rogers style conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Rogers didn't say, hey, everybody in the neighborhood. And I hate, like, when emails come, it's my biggest pet peeve, possibly, when it says like, hey, everybody in Facebook land. Like, no, I'm sitting here alone listening to you. I am not with everybody in Facebook land. And I get the understanding that, like, we also want to create the sense of a community when we're speaking to people. So if there's a lot of people watching, like, you have the community that's there too, because there is a conversation happening there. But really, our copy needs to be so you focused.
That's straight down the weeds. That's specific. So I
love Nancy Lewis. I just will say Nancy Hill. I love you.
So you said that this technique starts with the conversation.
Yeah, so start with conversation. There's so many other things that you can do. Another really great idea that I think I did when I had a vocal coaching business, and so many of the it was one of the best things that I did. It was called an expert roundup. And so at least that's what I call it. I don't know if that's what he called it, but putting together a list of tips from other people who serve your ideal client. So for me, I was teaching voice lessons at the time, and I had a VA look up. You could do it yourself, but I also had a VA at the time who looked up other vocal coaches who were offering instruction online, who were offering tips online. We then reached out to them and said, hey, I'm putting together this resource for singers. I would love to feature you in it and share your 3 best tips. In the resource, I will link your website and a free gift from you, something like that. So it was a PDF that I put together. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't like a big old summit. It was just a PDF. And then people opted in via something like ConvertKit. We use ConvertKit. So there was a landing page where they could put their email address in, and then they got this PDF. And then I was celebrating other people in my space. Now, we had one person reply back and be like, this sounds really fishy. I don't think, she was like really negative about the fact that we asked her. Fine, whatever. Everybody else was super stoked. Many of those people have become my very dear friends, and some of them actually joined Camera Confidence when I launched my program. And I've had some of them that have become private clients as well. So it's an awesome way to position yourself as a leader and to easily create a resource without feeling like you need to go crazy creating your own fancy dancy lead magnet.
And that lesson that you learned very early on with having a naysayer, we're going to get those.
Yeah.
The nature of most of us is we're far more sensitive to negative criticism than to positive comments. And so you'll have 10 people tell you that they love your content, and one person says, you're kind of salesy. And so we all go, oh my God, I can't be salesy. I can't be salesy. But the person that says that is never going to buy from you.
Anyway, and I just want to highlight that if this is something that you struggle with, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And Nancy knows because she was on a call with me when I got a negative email yesterday. After I literally have received so many emails recently thanking me for things I've been putting out there and saying, and I got one negative email yesterday and I was like a sobbing mess. So even though I feel like I've really worked on this, and for the most part, I'm really good at like actually when I get any negative type of comment, which we don't get all that often, but I actually kind of like it. I like play with them. But sometimes
I have my comments of the week on Facebook that people just love. Because I get a lot in YouTube, and so I never let them go. When they come in, it's like, oh, good.
Hooray!
But it took me a long time. And I also always do a internal audit. Am I in what is what I'm doing? Am I okay with what I'm doing? And I am okay with what I'm doing, obviously. But you have to let your own moral compass guide you.
And that's one of the benefits, I think, of building an email list, of building a business online where you have this visibility, is that you get a chance to self-check literally all the time. I mean, I was doing a webinar a couple weeks ago, and it's a 2-hour training that we do. We do it once a month. And somebody in the very beginning of it, and I was already feeling a little like, I've got the kids, I'm homeschooling, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm already feeling overwhelmed, but I'm showing up and giving. And this person comments on the webinar like, I wish you would download this and do it on YouTube so that I could watch it at double speed. 2 hours is such a long time. And I wanted to say, first of all, there are extensions for that. You could watch it here on double speed if you actually really wanted to try. I did not say that. I don't think
anybody could watch you double speed, because
that was the other thing that I said. I was like,
out of the box.
Until you see this actual webinar, because you're going to want to slow it down. But then I also was like, I mean, I highlighted, maybe I shouldn't have, but I was feeling snarky and I highlighted it right at the very beginning. And I was like, rude. Guess what? I am giving you 2 hours of possibly the most valuable content you can find on the internet, and it's all free. So if you don't want to stay here, you don't have to. I'm not like making you stay here. Go somewhere else or go buy our program so you can download the checklist. But it's going to happen.
So the email, so the tips that you learn from your guys. First one is conversation. Second one is creating a quid pro quo. And you gave that tip for creating a lead magnet is great, because often so many people go, oh, I don't know what to do for that lead magnet, for creating a lead magnet. And don't try and be too subtle about it. I think people start like, maybe they won't notice I'm
asking for their email
address.
Oh no. Yeah.
I'll just slide it in here like, oh, here's something very valuable, but in order to download it, we need your email address to send it to.
Yeah, no, make it clear that they are signing up for your list or your community, and that you are going to message them all the time. Make them excited about wanting that. And actually, so I would love to share, I brought some notes up here too, which I don't always bring with me, but because I knew this was like juicy, I brought some notes with me. I would love to share some other ideas for free gifts. Is that okay?
Please.
Okay. So one of our favorites, and if you are doing live videos like Steve does, I'm sure many of you are, what we realized was we have a video content planner. We have a masterclass that we do once a month, and we had people signing up for those. But with the video content planner, once people sign up for it, they kind of, they've got it. A lot of people end up going through that, going to the masterclass, joining our programs, but maybe they didn't download it. Maybe they didn't actually open the email, and now my emails are just sitting in their filter, right? So we wanted to give a reason.
That's a negative. That affects your deliverability and a whole bunch of other things.
Totally. So we wanted to give a reason for people to actually opt in every single week, to give us their email address, to have a reason to go check their email. And I've had some people say like, I'm already on your list. Why do I have to opt in again? I have found that when I have them reinvest that energy of typing in their email address for the new thing, it's like another micro commitment, moving them closer to wanting more from us. So
that's interesting. I haven't thought, because I know, like, I follow Amy Porterfield, and she often does that. I always go, why do I have to do this? I've opted in several times, but I guess we do that too because we have people have to opt in for the webinar.
Totally.
It is that commitment.
And when people get frustrated by it, like I've really only had one person ever say out of, tens of thousands of people, why do I have to put my email address in here? I'm like, because I'm giving you this thing for free. And that is all you have to do is take 2 seconds to type your email address. Right. So what we do is every single video, we do show notes, and they have to actually opt in for those show notes. Then those show notes, which we now have a professional copywriter, I'm so stoked, who is, she's like a note taker. She's taking notes, like not just transcribing it. We're actually having her take really awesome notes. It's so good. Those notes then go into our Facebook group. So they're giving us their email address and they're opting into our Facebook group to get the show notes archive. Does that make sense? So every single week. And I don't have to create anything new. I'm just delivering my video and that's being repurposed into the show notes.
So there's another lesson in here, is that people who are in the know, if they are following your stuff, they recognize that you're not just giving a lead magnet to get an email address, but you're delivering consistent value. You're investing in the value of your relationship with them, not just by delivering the live content, but by doing the hard stuff afterwards, which is the follow-up and paying some money to have these notes created, et cetera. So that shows an investment on your side. Great community building tactic. Yeah, okay.
And then the other thing is we're having people opt in to be reminded about the videos. So if you're delivering content like Steve does, you know, consistently, same thing with Jeff Walker, for example, we've been helping him to set up his bots and do some Facebook strategy for him, which is so awesome and so fun. And he obviously has, like, you know, a ginormous community, a ginormous email list, but recognizing that when he sends out his video on Sundays, he has a video that's released on Sundays. It's like a vlog type video, but people would want to be notified about that. So he has people sign up via emails, have people sign up via Messenger bot to be notified when that is released.
Nice. So did you go with the best tips first and the rest of them are going to be crap?
No, I'm going to get even better because I've got them. Oh my gosh. Wait, can I give one that's like really good? I have so many good ones. I'm sorry. Can we like go? I need to like talk faster because I've got lots of really good tips.
Don't talk faster.
I forgot. Steve told me to slow down when I'm here. Okay. So do you know about Sniply?
Oh, I've heard of
Snip.ly.
What is it?
Okay. I had forgotten about it and I remembered it recently and I was like, oh my gosh. Can I screen share?
Yeah.
Is that possible? Okay. I think I have the link in my notes. Let me see. Oh my gosh. I'm so smart. I surprise myself sometimes. Okay. I'm going to screen share. So if you find here's, I'm going to tell you a story of what we did. Do you remember on Facebook when there used to be photos that you could push on the photo and it would come to life into a video? It was like a press and hold photo.
No.
I don't know if it still exists, but if you uploaded a live photo, you could have the live photo then turn into a video.
Oh, cool.
It was really, really cool. And everybody was freaking out, wanting to learn how to do it. So what I did is I didn't want to create a whole resource on it. I found a resource on it. I decided to send traffic to her resource. And I also, let me pull this up. I also used a tool called Sniply so that when I sent people,
I have to bring it up.
There can you see it?
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So I used this tool called Sniply so that when I sent people to this post, and her name is the Modern Tog, I am sending her traffic. She serves photographers, so we're not really even in the same space, but I was so grateful for this training.
I thought it was a modern toga. I thought it was like a modern tog as a
tog, like photographers. Okay, but do you see what's on the bottom of this?
Oh.
Whose picture is that?
That is Mahoney. Sniply.
It adds a little bit of code to the link when you send this thing. So people can read this, but on the bottom, it's saying like, hey, isn't this cool? Facebook magic. Want to take it to the next level? When you click on this, it takes you to my live video masterclass.
So is that for any link that you're sharing?
Yes.
And that link pulls back to any URL you want?
Yes, you can put it in on anything. So if you go to snip.ly, you can create your own. It is super easy. You just say like what link you want to forward, what link you want to send people to, and then you can put the message and your own lead magnet on top of their stuff.
Okay. That is scary.
I know.
because now I'm a little bit worried about the
people using it for yours.
Well, I guess if the code goes with it, yeah. I want to check out the security of it, but that's very cool.
Well, the code doesn't go on the website, right? It's like an overlay.
Yeah.
So it's not doing anything to her website at all. I'm sending her traffic, right? So I'm still sending people to her, but I'm also saying, hey, it's kind of like adding your own little affiliate code to the link that you're sending.
Snip.ly?
Yes. snip
I'm
dot
just putting
no
that in
two P's. Sorry, SNIPP.ly. 2 P's.
pp.ly.
Oh, just kidding. Maybe I spelled it. Hold on, let me look.
No.
Oh, it's just 1 P.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Snip.ly. Yeah. Add a
There
call
it is.
to action to every link you share.
Add a call to action every link you share. Very cool. Well, that's
Okay.
some inside baseball. Okay, so that
Okay.
was good.
Crazy awesome. All right, I'm looking for my like secret ninja tricks that I have on here. The other thing, okay, this is another really big thing, is optimizing your digital presence. So my friend Tobin Slavin shared yesterday actually that on LinkedIn, he looks at your profile as opposed to having it like a resume, to look at it like a funnel. We want to look at our profiles like a funnel. And if you're building relationships and people come back to your profile and you have stuff of value that's you focused and you have a link to get on your email list there, that can be a huge way to do it. So many people on their personal Facebook profile, it's not optimized. So we want to look at all of the places, all of our digital footprints, and the home base on all these different platforms. So that's your personal profile. It's your Facebook group. It's your Facebook business page. It's your Instagram. It's your TikTok. It's whatever it is that you're using. And I cannot tell you, Steve, how many people, I'm going to go look at yours right now to see how many people have broken links or they're not fully using their Facebook personal profile to its fullest extent.
You shouldn't really be doing my profile. Just saying, that's rude.
It's my favorite thing to do. It's to help
What are you
people.
looking at?
Can I tell you a few things you could add to
I'm
yours?
pulling it up. Okay, so that's my personal profile.
Yes.
Oh, well, gosh, that's a little oversharing.
Is that okay? I can close
Okay,
it.
it's fine. It's fine.
I didn't realize you were still screen sharing when I was doing it. I thought I was doing it
No,
secretly.
I brought it up so that you could do it because it's
Okay,
fine.
can I show you a couple of things
Here.
you could
It's
add
just
here?
between you and me.
I mean, so I actually love the photos that you have on yours. So I love the photo on the top that's like family related. I personally don't like it when people have a business related photo on the top of their personal profile, when it's like, this is my personal profile, go to my business page, because it makes it seem like you don't actually want to build friends and relationships. So I love things that are more like the energy that you want to convey. I love your photo here is very much on brand. It's like a clear picture of you. The thing that you could add to this is this section right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So all this says here is that you live in British Columbia, which is a great thing. But can I show you an idea of what you could add here?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we go to my personal profile, and I will say that mine.
Before you leave mine. Yeah. Just because we're talking about dealing with trolls, scroll down a little bit on my profile.
Okay.
Scroll down a little bit and a little bit more.
Okay.
Beyond the black stuff that we blacked out yesterday. And a little bit more there. No, one more down. Do you see that little post-it? Click on that. Make that bigger.
This one right here?
Up a bit. Yeah. That's how I deal with the negative comments. Can you see that?
Which I love so much. Please speak. Sebastian, I'm sorry if you watch any of the videos that Steve does with me. Please speak properly and distinctly so that others can understand.
Am I right?
Oh, Sebastian, please use punctuation so I know when your sentence has ended. Period.
That's how we deal with the criticism here. Okay, so take me to your profile and show me how you build your email list from your Facebook profile, because this is deep in the weeds.
It is deep in the weeds. And I will say also that I am not here saying be like a spammy McSpammerson on your personal profile. My personal profile is very personal related. So you're going to see a video of me in my bathroom doing my makeup before this, talking about things. So there you are. So you can see I've got the kiddos up here. I've got, it's my face coming through with my glasses, which are very branded. But check out down here. It says, unlock your awesome, elevate it, and share it with the world. Stand for joy. And then it has my website here. Then when you go to my website, which I have a brand new website, I haven't even told anybody, but on my website, there are so many ways that you can opt in for more value. So we have our video content planner. We have our live video masterclass.
Do you use pop-ups?
We do actually, but I haven't re-added them onto this new one yet. We have a messenger bot pop-up actually that's a slide in that I need to re-put the code on because we just changed this week, but it's a slide in that invites them to the masterclass. We don't use like an exit intent pop-up. I've used those in the past, but we're not using it right now.
And there's nothing wrong with any of those. People, one of the things about building your email list is you have to recognize that there's a balance when people come to your website between you serving them and you being in Gary Vaynerchuk's jabs, and the
Yeah,
right hook, which is getting them to do a business process. If people are just going to visit your site, consume your content, but never become a community member of yours, and signing up for your mail list is,
yeah,
for example, then you're just you can't sustain the quality of content that you're delivering because you're not generating the revenue that you need from it. There has to be
totally.
a balance, and so you can't. I think a lot of people are reluctant to ask, and the pop-ups are great because they do invoke negative reaction. People go, I hate pop-ups, I'm never going to follow anybody that has pop-ups.
For me, the
Really?
only thing that becomes an issue for me is similar to what we were talking about in the beginning. Oftentimes I'll go to an email or a website of someone who I'm already on their list. And I like maybe their list sent me to this page so that I could read something. And then I get blocked that I can't even read it because I've got to sign up. But I just came from the email where I signed up for it.
Yeah.
So that gets a little tricky. But
so having some good processes might, and also allowing people to exit from that. Don't hide the exit. Don't hide
yeah.
don't
And
hide
that's
yeah.
why ours was just that slider. It didn't overtake the whole entire screen.
That's nice. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, let me show you some other things. So down here, this is where I see most people make a mistake. And I see so many people make
it again.
Oh yeah, can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it they put too much eyeshadow on at the beginning?
It is. No, so what it is, and like I said, I probably have too much here. So know that you don't have to do quite as much as I have. But I see so many people have their business linked here. It'll say like owner at blah, blah, blah. And it looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do you see? Hold on. What's happening? There's supposed to be a little pop-up. Do you see? Oh my gosh, Facebook, what are you doing? Do you see Facebook? Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's this gray flag. So go to your personal Facebook profile on your on your desktop. And when you hover over this link, is it a gray flag or does it look like this? And I see this so often. I even wrote in my bio here that I am a former fixer of broken links. And I have a broken link example because so many people do this wrong.
Oh, okay.
So do you see how mine actually links to my business page?
Yeah.
And it shows you all of this information about my business page.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to do. I even went so far as to create a separate page for our camera confidence course, even though we don't put content out here. I had some people who notified me that someone else had created a program called Camera Confidence. We have it trademarked, and I realized that I wasn't owning my trademark the way that I should. So I have this here. It's almost just like a business card for Camera Confidence. When people click on this and go to that page, it just gives them information about Camera Confidence. The other thing is when you come down here, I have my past things that are important that elevate my experience as a performance coach and as a marketer. So I have that I was a host at Raw Natural Born Artists, which is a huge international organization. I have that I was a former actor in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the musical, because that gives me authority, right? I have that I was a former singing waiter at Ellen Stardust Diner, which may seem weird, but more people recognize Ellen Stardust Diner than anything else, which I think is so
funny. Sure.
Yeah. And then I also have all of my social platforms here. Yeah. So if people want to follow me other places, they're all linked. Two more really important things. I have my Facebook group here, and check this out on the bottom. Do you see this?
Yeah.
So you can actually now, where you had those photos, it was like just random family photos. And like there was a picture, I think, of you and Bella, like some other fun photos. You can be so specific. You can actually choose a link to put here. This actually is a photo that's linked to my business page. This is a photo that's linked to my Facebook group.
Okay.
And all you have to do is click edit featured and you can change those.
So the lesson here, as far as email is concerned, is don't ever miss an opportunity. Make sure that you're ubiquitous, and you never know where those leads are going to come from. They're not all going to come from our opt-ins.
And you want to optimize those places because, and when people join my Facebook group, I have the 3 questions there. I ask for their email address.
Yeah.
And when I get that,
how does that work? That's something that we're experimenting with ourselves.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. You want to make sure though that you do 2 things. One of 2 things. Either, like, how are you collecting those?
Let's just stop, because I want to make sure that everybody knows. For some reason, my watch thought I was working out. Interesting. Total non sequitur. When you have a Facebook group, you can admit people into the group by asking 3 questions. You can give them 3 questions to ask.
Mhm.
And those questions can be anything. So this is one opportunity you have in Facebook to actually turn people from Facebook's customer into your customer. So
Mhm.
tell me the secret to getting people to give you their email address when they're joining your group.
Okay. And I don't actually do this right now. I forgot we're getting their email before we send them to our group. So if you look at mine, I'm not actually doing this right now, but we've done it at times and it works so well. You want to be GDPR compliant. I am not, or whatever compliant for wherever you are. I am not your lawyer, but make sure you tell people you're adding them to your list if you're going to be adding them to your list. Just to clarify. Okay. When they when you ask that question, you say, hey, if you want to get our video content planner, just give us your email here. We'll also keep you updated about all of the goodness Molly has to share, something like that. They drop their email in there. There's two things that you can do. One is you can go in, grab that email, put it into your email list manually. We used to have a team member do that. It's time consuming. Facebook does not save those answers.
Yeah.
Or you can use a tool to actually grab the email address for you.
Group funnels.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. We've been using group funnels for years. Arnie is a very good friend of ours, and we're switching tools. You're the first person I'm telling.
Oh, really? Because we just bought it.
Okay, it's amazing. So if you're using group funnels, know that it works super, super well. I think for you, Steve, probably group funnels is the best option because I don't believe you're spending as much time on Facebook doing like what we call organic retargeting.
No.
Which is you're really actively in conversations and Messenger with your people in your Facebook group.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. So if you are going to take that a step further, there's a new tool called Group Track, and it turns your Facebook contacts into an actual CRM. So when it not only grabs those questions and puts them into your email list, it also allows you to tag them just like HubSpot would, like based on where they're at in the client journey. So it's like the next step up from Group Funnels. So we are just yesterday, we purchased it. The creator is actually a client of mine. She's been a friend of mine since high school. And it's super amazing. So with those tools, they automatically grab those answers and put them into a spreadsheet for you or put them into a CRM for you.
So the key though, as far as gathering email addresses from Facebook that I've heard that we're not doing is we were just asking people to give us their email address so that we could let them know about stuff coming up. You have a list builder opt-in. You give them something in order to get the email address.
Yeah. So when we use this strategy, we say to get our video content planner to whatever, we make it a specific gift that we're giving them.
That's because we don't have a very high opt-in rate right now. People don't say, no, would rather just join the group without giving your email address, which I completely understand, but I don't like. Okay.
Yeah. So I think if you want to be really specific in what they're going to get. Like in video, when people join your group, you could give them, which we love in video. So when you go join the in video group, maybe sometime soon, in video could give like even a branding, like a color guide, how to find colors that work well together to use in your videos.
Backgrounds for live videos, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Totally. Overlays, different things like that, which could be really cool.
That's excellent. So let's talk about now. You've increased the amount of traffic the amount of emails that you send. What's your deliverability rate? Do you do any cleansing or do you do anything to avoid going into the spam folders or to have your emails make sure that they make it into the proper inbox?
So we have in the past done cleanses. I haven't done one in a while. Like I said, it's been one of the things on my top of my list that I need to do. I will say that we do a few things to get those open rates up, or the deliverability rate up, which one of them is to send something where people have to reply to us in order to get whatever it is. So like we'll send an email and say, one time we did that, it worked super well. We set up, Molly's going to do a free workshop. Only a certain amount of people will be able to join and you have to apply. Here's how to apply. Hit reply to this email and answer these questions. Now my team was like, can we please just have them fill out a form? Mm-hmm. I said, no, because what we wanted was to start that conversation, which helps your email to be whitelisted.
Yes. Okay.
Because when they're replying to you, it opens up the conversation so that like Gmail and those people think that you're friends.
Yes.
So this is something we learned from Pat Flynn is the first email that we get also always says, hit reply and tell us what your biggest struggle is so that we can provide better content. The very first email, always.
So Well, you get them to reply to that first email as opposed to just passively watch it and click on links.
Click on things. Yeah. It's, it's actually the same as I talk about the social triangle. Have I told you about that before?
No.
Okay. The social triangle is this concept I developed that works on any platform, email included, which I don't actually talk about. And I'm so glad we're talking about this right now. When you are looking to unlock the organic algorithm, right? Unlock the ability to increase deliverability for people to see your stuff, to increase reach, to increase engagement. You want to make sure that you have 3 pieces in place. The first thing is you have to actually show up. If you don't show up and start sending emails, no one's going to see them because you're not actually sending anything, right? So you have to show up. The second thing is you have to make sure that the person that you're communicating with is a part of the conversation. So on Facebook, that means you have to make sure that you're actually commenting and liking their stuff. You're replying to their comments. You're talking to them. You're speaking in a voice that allows you to really, learn from them and connect with them.
Okay.
The third piece is the platform. And you have to recognize, what does the platform want? So with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, probably too, all of those things, they want people to stay on the platform longer so that they can monetize it with ads.
Yep.
So if that's why Facebook will say, oh, this video is under 3 minutes, it will perform better if it's at least 3 minutes. Facebook will send you a notification that says that when you upload a video. It doesn't mean all your videos should be 3 minutes, but,
yep.
And when we can get more people to talk to us in our videos, more people leaving longer comments, the organic reach is going to go up.
Yep.
Same thing with your email. If more people reply to you, Gmail is going to, or whatever your email service provider is going to recognize, oh, this is keeping people here in email having this conversation. Let's make sure people actually get these emails.
So I teach in YouTube. People get upset if they get thumbs down on their videos. YouTube doesn't care. They just want a reaction.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So the social triangle can finish.
Oh, yes, that's it. It's you, it's the person, and it's the platform. And once you have those three things in place, that's when it's like.
So email is looking for, and deliverability is looking for engagement. They're looking for A, open, B, clicking links within, action within. But the best thing that you can do is have a conversation. Is have the best thing you can do to create more authority to your email list, which means that you end up in the primary email inbox and not in the updates or the marketing ones
or the spam.
Spam, yeah, which is the worst. Is to have a conversation, have them reply, and actually get back. So manufacturing ideas, opportunities for people to reply to you.
Yeah, totally. And if you like Dennis Yu, for example, he doesn't use opt-in pages. When he speaks, he says, send us an email at blah, blah, blah and in the subject line, make it yada, yada, yada. Which I'm always like, oh, Dennis, how do you deal with that? Because now you have so many people emailing you. And he was like, yeah, and I have team members who reply to them.
So think about when a lot of people will put together a question box where you submit a question. Instead of doing that, encourage them to reply to the newsletter that you sent out with the question.
Yes. And so it is a little more time consuming, but it's
also a slow process. You're not going to see the results overnight. This is like good dental hygiene. It just over time, it has an effect.
Yeah, totally.
An overall effect on your health. That's good. I like that. That's good.
You know what? Food.
It's so good. You know what? I think, I want to have one piece of fun with you.
Okay.
I always do these lightning rounds. And the reason I do them is because people hate doing them. But I bet you don't hate the idea. So this is just, I want one word or very short phrase answers. Okay. Your immediate reaction to these socially relevant things that are happening right now, or these marketing relevant things right now.
Okay.
Or how you feel about these different things.
Okay. It's like a Meisner chair work. Do you know that?
Yes. Paid traffic.
Fun.
You could be more than that.
I thought it was just like the first thing that comes to mind. Paid traffic is temperamental.
Okay, very good. See, that's much better. Influencer marketing.
There's a word that I'm thinking of. Be responsible.
Okay, think about things as you're going through. Live streaming.
The best.
Digital health.
Sleep.
No, I'm talking about like talking to your doctor online.
Oh my gosh, I thought you
Like it's like how we're moving to digital health, how you can have an appointment with your doctor by video conferencing.
not what I thought you meant at all. I'm clearly thinking of my own digital health and the fact that I need less screen time.
Disconnect time. Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, digital health. I think it's interesting actually, and I think that we should be exploring more options, and that insurance companies should be approving some more of it, maybe.
Live conferences.
The only thing this is a confession. It's the only thing I miss about people, because I realized I don't actually want to be around people right now. I just want to be by myself. But I spoke yesterday at a conference in the morning, and after it was done, I was like so amped up. And then I was like, I don't have the payoff of like getting off the stage and actually having that energy continue. So it made me actually, and people I know think I'm an extrovert. I have been really craving alone time lately, but yesterday, I think that's why it added to everything yesterday that I miss that.
Privacy.
Everybody has everything anyway. So I feel like good luck. Good luck is what I'll say.
Zoom.
The privacy stuff on Zoom has been driving me bonkers lately because I have to reset every setting every 5 seconds. But for the most part, I am crazy grateful for it as a tool.
Yeah,
and I understand what they're doing. Trust. Authenticity and being honest, to tell the truth.
You're going to go crazy on this one. I don't even want to ask you next one.
Okay, I'm afraid.
Bots.
Oh. Another thing, be responsible. So use bots to lead to more human conversations. Don't use bots as a replacement for human conversations, and have fun with them.
Amplification.
Sometimes silence is the best way to amplify your message.
Ooh,
sometimes.
Interesting. I want to dive into that. Maybe that's another call.
Yeah.
The gig economy.
I mean, I could go into a whole conversation about AB5, but as an artist, as a musician, I find that there's a lot of things that are really difficult for a lot of people who have it makes it really difficult for people who are used to booking hour-long gigs or 2-hour-long gigs. And in order to, we need more detailed regulation and support for the gig economy in California. That's what I will say about that.
Facebook avatars.
Fun at first and short-lived.
Close. I haven't seen one person that looks like their avatar. Facebook Messenger rooms.
Interesting. Too time-consuming for me. And I like to have more control over the conversation. We did a whole training on it last week, actually. And it was like madness because some people weren't muting their things. And as the host, I couldn't mute people. So I will probably keep Facebook rooms for more personal stuff than I will for business. But I can see, especially like in direct sales, I can see them being a fun way to bring people together.
So let's wrap things up, Molly. You've got your camera confidence course. Tell us a little bit about it.
What'd you say?
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so our camera confidence program, it's a course. It's really a coaching program. It's lifetime access to coaching calls with us and these amazing systems. So you will learn how to step into your spotlight, the confidence to be able to show up on camera as your true, authentic self. You will learn how to create a business boosting brand. You will learn how to become a polished performer, to create a creative, consistent content plan, and to learn how to take your show on the road so that you can repurpose with purpose. And it's pretty
Molly's
dope.
not just the creator of the course. She's there for a student. She used to be a shy and retiring wallflower.
I was.
Of course. Molly, thank you so much for this. It was awesome. I'm going to stick around. I will chat with you as soon as I wrap things up, but thank you so much. Love you. Oh, she is so awesome. Coming up next week on Just Between You and Me, we're shifting gears, talking YouTube. Nick Nimmin is going to be joining us. Nick's YouTube channel just blew past 600,000 subscribers, and he has taught more YouTube users how to grow their channel, how to build their channel than almost anybody I know. And he's a good buddy of mine. Looking forward to Nick, and he's paying the price. Nick is somewhere off in the Far East, and so he's going to be coming on at about 2 in the morning his time to visit with us, but it will be well worth your time. So keep your eyes open to join me along with Nick Nimmin next week on Just Between You and Me. My thanks so much to Molly Mahoney. I could talk to her all day, as you can tell. And the cool thing about talking to Molly is you talk to her for an hour and you get an hour and a half's worth of content. So that's one of the best things about Molly. So that with that, I'm going to wrap things up till next time. Thanks to everybody at InVideo for hosting this and running the entire program. To all of you for participating with us. Till next time, I'm Steve Dotto. Have fun storming a castle.